all my friends were wearing crop tops. I really wanted to wear one, but my mom, of course, wouldn't let me. So I was really, really mad. And one day I went to my friend Stella's house, and she gave me a hand-me-down. She gave me a few hand-me-downs, and I looked through them, and one of them was a crop top. I put it on, and my mom saw me with it on. She was like, "What are you wearing?" I was like, "Mom, it's a crop top." And she was really mad, but she said, "Okay, fine, you can wear it only at our house." And I was like, "Fine, at least I get to wear one." And a day comes where I go to the beach with my friend Isla, and we end up having a sleepover, and I remember about my crop top, and I literally threw it on. I was like, "Yes, crop top." And then I barge into the room where my mom is. I'm like, "Mom, I'm wearing a crop top, and you can't stop me because I'm at home." And my friend looked at me so weird, and I have not talked to her since.
I'm Debbie and this is my story. One day I was in my English class watching a movie about Shakespeare. I had beans and coffee before school, the most deadliest combination. It wasn't even that long before my stomach started rumbling when I got into class. The movie was really loud and I sat at the back of the class, so I thought it would be my perfect chance to let out the most bubbly fart so no one could hear it over the sound of the movie. As soon as I was about to do it, my teacher paused the movie to explain a scene, and that's when I let out the most soggy doggy, butchered froggy, shit comes out loggy, made the room foggy, so loud you would think it was the 4th of July. I swear to God, one kid sitting next to the window opened the blinds because he thought he heard a thunderstorm outside. I dropped my books on the floor in hope of a save, thinking that people would have thought the sound was my books dropping. But that's when the creamy lumps fell out of my pants onto the floor. I ran out crying to the bathroom and called my mom, and she took me home and got me new clothes. I had to go back to school the next day and everyone was laughing at me and was calling me diarrhea.
Okay guys, I got another pizza story for you. So when I was about 5 years old, me and my mom went to this pizza place with a couple of friends. And then we were waiting in line talking about what we're gonna get and everything. And then it's my mom's friend's turn to go. And she says, "Hi, can I please get some pineapple on my pizza?" And in my little 5-year-old mind, I was just so disgusted by that. I turn to my mom with my eyes this big. And I was so shocked, I yell from the top of my lungs,
"Pineapple on pizza?"
And I was so confused. My little 5-year-old brain just decided to cry over that. And I cried the entire time that we were there. And pineapple on pizza still makes me cry to this day. LOL. So a couple days ago, I was on vacation at my cousin's house. And the last night that I was staying there, we went out to go get some pizza at this really good pizza place. And yeah, we all got pizza. It was really good. And then as we were finishing up, my little cousin decided to let one slide. She farted. And it was really, really loud. Everyone looked at me like I did it. And that was already embarrassing enough. And then she just decided to blame it on me. How nice of you. By the way, she's like 3 years old and she's really smart for her age. So I know she did that just to embarrass me. But I'll get her back, don't you worry.
The most annoying person that could ever exist is that one kid that asks for homework. The teacher would be like, "All right, it's the end of the lesson, class dismissed." And we would all be in a good mood because they forgot about assigning us work. But then, this stupid mother trucker would go like, "Miss, what about the homework?" "Benjamin, you little rat. Why would you do that? We got away with not having homework." Then the teacher gives like 8 double-sided pages of work to do. "Thanks a lot, Benjamin."
So last night we went to this really good Italian restaurant called Michelli's, and they have singing waiters and waitresses there. Bonus! So after we're done with our delicious Italian food, here come the singing waiters and waitresses singing happy birthday to me. And it wasn't even my birthday. Instead of cake, it was spumoni ice cream with some candles stuck in it. And when they get to the part where they say my name, it wasn't even my name. And then I glance over at the table next to us, and they have this really weird look on their face like that was supposed to be our spumoni birthday ice cream. So we kind of just got free ice cream that night.
Okay, so explain to me why it is so hard to start a freaking conversation. All my friends would just be sitting there and we'd all be talking. Well, I wouldn't be talking. I'd just be listening and try to talk back and answering the questions or talking about like, "Oh yeah, that's such a great idea. Yeah, love it. And so like, then there's nothing to talk about. And then what if they all look at you and like, "Miss Girl, don't look at me because I got nothing to say. My life is literally not interesting whatsoever."
One night, I went to my cousin's for a sleepover. We wanted to have a spa night, so we walked our chunky monkey stunky wonky lunky funky asses to the bathroom. Once we arrived, we began to put our special potions into the toilet and swirl it around with our foot. My foot became so soggy loggy cloggy shoggy woggy hoggy wet we had to flush our masterpiece. We went to her room so I could wash my foot with her blanket. We came to the bathroom with a rude awakening. Her other mother's brother was taking the longest shit on the toilet when he let out the highest scream possible. The potions bubbled up into his ass and his shit started to overflow into the shower. That's when my cousin's brother lost his virginity at 7 from bleach, borax, Windex, floor cleaner, lemon, scented oil, and tacky dust.
Story time. One time my mom told me that we were going out to eat, so I got ready and put on a really cute outfit. So we got there and the place didn't have many customers there. So we sat down and ordered. 30 minutes had passed, and we still hadn't even got our appetizers yet. So I went to the kitchen, and I couldn't find anybody. But then I looked down and there was Rat making the food.
Hey, Jugga sounds sick.
I ran out of there and screamed that there was musty, dusty, crusty rats in the kitchen. Story time.
We literally had that one kid in primary school who would literally ruin everything for the class. Like, say if the teacher was doing that 1 minute in silence thing because we were talking too much in the lesson, and then we'd lose like a minute of our break time. But if someone as such as made a sound, then like we'd have to start all over again, like blah 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 blah. There would always be that one kid who thought he was an actual comedian because he kept on making bloody gorilla noises in the 1 minute of silence, and then we'd have to keep on starting the time all over and all over again, and this dude just wouldn't stop. And he didn't even, he was not even funny. He sounded like a bloody demented goose. Like, are you okay? And then we'd get onto the playground, and then there'd be these group of boys who were like hella mad, and they were like, oh my god, you lost 5 minutes on our break time, like fight me. And then there'd be year 6 beef, and then we'd have that depressing talk with the teacher about how, oh my god, you're the top of the year, like we like look up to you, like you should be better than this.
So one time in class it was my birthday and I brought in these cupcakes for everyone to share. There is this one kid who is very allergic to gluten, and so I thought I bought gluten-free cupcakes. I was wrong. When we started to eat, the kid's face turned green and asked if he could use the bathroom. The teacher said yes, but as soon as the kid stood up, the most aggressive thick, double-decker brick, do a flip, really hot chick, not so quick shard in the whole universe, the window shattered and the sprinklers went off. Everybody swore they saw Satan outside. The kid sharded for like 5 minutes straight with no breaks. He got the shard all over his chair and all over the walls. Once he was done, he was taken to the hospital for how aggressive the shard was. So one time in class
my teacher tried to fail me. So basically it was the last week of the semester and grades were due at the end of the week. So I checked my power school to see my grades and I noticed I have a D in this class. So I checked to see which assignments I failed, and it says I never took my final exam and I never took a chapter test. Which is not true because I have no missing assignments. I do all of my work. But he gave me a 0 for both of them. So the next day in class, I joined his Google Meet. So I unmute myself and I'm like, Mr. Man, can you open the test so I can either retake it or see if like you just messed up my grade? As soon as I said this, he turned off his camera and his microphone. And he ignored me. So at this point, I was like, time to take things into my own hands because I know I did not get a 0 on both of these assignments. So I worked my magic and I ended up finding out what my real test scores were. I got a 97 on both of them, but he gave me a 0. So I sent him screenshots of the score I really got, threatened to tell the principal, and my grade changed like that.
When I was like 10 years old, there was a box of maxi pads in the bathroom, and I said, Mom, what are these? And she said, you put them in your underwear. So the next morning before school, I put one in my underwear, adhesive side up, and went to school, and it was really uncomfortable. And then I went to the bathroom to try to peel it off, and that adhesive is really strong. And I was in there a long time, and then the teacher came in and said, Kevin, are you okay? And I said, yes. And then I thought maybe if I get it wet, it'll peel off easier. So I went over to the sink, and then the teacher came back in, and she just froze. I could tell she couldn't quite comprehend what she was looking at, and she just turned around and
haven't been to the toilet in 4 days and it was starting to worry me, so I went to the doctor's. I arrived and the doctor felt my stomach and said it was very hard. He wanted me to take a stool sample, which means you have to shit in the cup. I had coffee for breakfast, so I was pretty much ready to go. I grabbed the cup and went to the toilet and held it up to my ass and started pushing. I didn't realize how badly coffee affected me, and the next thing you know, a strong gust of diarrhea started blasting out of my ass and I felt like a rocket ready for takeoff. I grabbed onto the door for balance because I started levitating and the cup was already full, but I couldn't stop. I was holding onto the door for dear life and the shit was spitting out like a shotgun. I eventually stopped and looked at the glass cup of my shit and there were cracks all over the glass. I heard the desk lady shouting for everyone to get under the chair and to call the police. I got scared thinking what is going on outside, so I quickly cleaned myself up and rushed out of the bathroom to see everyone crying and hiding under the chairs because they thought there was an active shooter in the building. I said it was just my shit and everyone got up and been to the
Where's Kit?
Everyone, you have to have this one person in your class, or you're just lucky to get into a nice class. That one person who just always wants to be right. When someone answers a question and they get it right, they say this: yeah, I got that too. Really? Really? Next example. When they get it wrong and the teacher asks, how did you go wrong? Where did you go wrong? They explain and then they say this: I was gonna do that. You weren't gonna do that, were you? Were you? Tell me that now. You weren't. Now stop trying to be the best in the class who gets everything right. Goodbye.
Stories.
One day in math class I was sitting next to this girl named Lucy McBoozy when our teacher surprised us with a test and a 6-page work packet. When Lucy McBoozy heard that, she got up on her desk and started to do some Tarzan jungle man swinging from a rubber band shit. Freaking out, she galloped over to the teacher's desk and took out the sloppiest, wappiest, stink-dinking, wettest shat and threw it on the teacher's head. When the class smelled that, most of them passed out and most ran out the room. Lucy McBoozy wasn't finished with the shat and more came out. The office thought there was a shooter in the school, so we went into lockdown. The office then realized it was Lucy McBoozy's stinky ass. Turns out she had bowel cancer, the Great Plague, the Spanish flu and coronavirus. Now cause of her we are doing online school, so our school, and get a deep clean.
I absolutely hate when you're like in English class or something and your teacher is just simply explaining your task to you. But then you decide to start a very loud conversation with your best friend. She notices you and your teacher gives you that look that really says no. She's like, oh wait. You both look at her like, I'm so sorry. Was my lesson interrupting your conversation? It's fine, guys, seriously. I'll wait. I'm like, thank you, sister, because I've still got to go through all the drama with my best friend. And last time I checked, you were teaching in our conversation.
People. Story time. In my old school, I was in a friend group of 5 girls, including me: Annie, Camila, Jenna, and Emily. We were all like best friends and always had sleepovers on Fridays or on the weekend. But Camila always said that she couldn't make it because she had soccer practice. We all said, it's okay, you'll come next time, even though she never came, and we never thought anything about it. Until one Wednesday afternoon at lunch when Emily went to the bathroom. We were all like, oh my god, we should totally throw her a slumber party for her birthday next week, Friday. And everybody said, yes, of course, and we all started planning it. But of course, Camila said, sorry, I have soccer practice, I can't make it. And me, as a straightforward person I am, said, you really can't miss one soccer practice for your best friend's birthday party?